Let us move along to our next guest. He was very busy over the weekend in Las Vegas. He was squaring off with his old friend. He returns to action after an 8-year hiatus on November 24th at the Forum in Inglewood, California. He meets Tito Ortiz for the third time. Remember, several months ago, last time we spoke to him, he announced his comeback on this very show at a different place. We're talking about the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. Chuck, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Great to talk to you, Chuck. Thank you for doing this. I'm doing really well. This is actually happening. There are still some people, Chuck, who I feel like don't believe like this is happening. Do you get that as well?
I do, but now that it's announced, I really haven't been looking at the stuff yet. So I'm guessing people will know that now that there's tickets on sale, that it is actually going to happen, yes.
Are you surprised? You know, these things sometimes they could take a life of its own. You have aspirations, dreams, and things just go in different directions. Are you surprised that we're here? Like there was a press conference, you squared off, tickets are on sale, there's a venue, or did you think it would take a little longer?
No, I'm not surprised we're here. I didn't think it would take any longer. I think it went right exactly when I thought I'd be ready to fight again. When this whole thing started, I said, well, I can be ready, anytime about September, October. Once we started talking, and they said, okay. And we found a date in November, so I'm really happy with it.
We're looking at footage of your stare down with Tito on Friday in Las Vegas, and I'm just wondering, you guys have squared off before, just for fun, for photos and things like that, but here you are at a press conference, there's an audience there, there's media, Oscar De La Hoya is between you. Did you feel like you were in a time warp? What was it like to do it again with the stakes where they are right now?
Well, it was a lot of fun, actually. He was like shaking. I mean, the way he looked he's seriously nervous. I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's not like when we do it in press, like when it was just for nothing, at little things here and there when we weren't going to fight. It's a total different vibe than when he's really getting nervous. He tried to flinch me. I think even a website said I flinched. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that video, but he didn't get anywhere close to flinch me with that stupid move he did.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
What was he saying to you?
I was talking about this time, and he's different now, and I don't know. One of his my favorite line he had actually was the snowflake one. You've been working on this, and that was all you got. I don't know what his thing is. He keeps saying I'm a shell of a man that I was, so now he can beat me. I mean, why would you even want to try to promote that? The only reason I can beat you now because you're a shell of the man you used to be. I guess he's trying to convince himself of that. I think it's this whole process he has of trying to convince himself he can beat me.
And so you're saying that when you look at him, when you stare at him, you actually see nerves, you see doubt, you feel like he's not confident.
I guarantee he's not confident. I see doubt completely.
Do you feel like you're sort of like the boogeyman for him? Like he just doesn't believe that if he competes against you that he could beat you?
Yes, I do. I mean, I think it's that it's almost like that big brother syndrome. I used to beat him every time we trained. It's one of those things. In his head, he can't beat me. So I mean, he's so worried about it that it's never going to happen.
I get a lot of people who ask me to ask you this question. It's a very simple question, and it's sort of a question that we addressed, when we last spoke. But now that it's a real thing, I feel like I'd like to ask it again. What's in it for you to do this? Why are you doing this? Why are you coming back?
I wasn't really ready to leave when I left. I love this sport. I love fighting. I love training. I love getting ready, and I feel like I still got some fight in me. And part of it, people told me I couldn't. Tell me I can't do something. I like to prove you that I can. And I feel like I still have enough left in me to make a run at some of these guys, and I want to give it a try.
So you say that you weren't ready to leave when you left. Why did it take so long for you to come back?
I think I just got comfortable being retired, raising my kids and having fun. I was having a good time. I was enjoying it, and I kind of got away from it, and I think I forgot a little bit about how much I liked training and how much I liked being in and around the sport.
Have you heard from Dana White since the news came out that you're coming back and fighting Tito and that there's a date and everything? Did you speak to Dana about this?
No, I haven't talked with Dana.
He didn't send you a text, welcome back, looking forward to it, nothing like that?
No, I have not heard from Dana.
In the end, why did you decide to go with De La Hoya and Golden Boy for their maiden voyage in MMA? What was the deciding factor that led you to go with them as the promoter for this?
Well, his experience in promoting, his experience as a fighter, and going in as a partnership. It's a partnership with him. I have a big stake in how well this fight does, and that's for me. That's that chance at a home run, that chance at that big payday is great.
Could you tell us if there's a major difference in the stake that you have in this event compared to what you had when you were a UFC champion? Is there a big difference?
Is there a big difference in the what?
In the stake? I'm guessing that you're saying that like the percentage of like your piece of the pie basically is greater, right?
Yes.
Is it much greater than when you were a champion in the UFC?
Much greater than the piece of the pie I was getting, yes.
Okay. Could you tell us how much of the pie you're getting? Like, are you getting 50% of revenue?
I'm not talking about numbers of people, but it will be good. And if the show does really well, we will do really well.
For you on pay-per-view, what would be considered a success?
For me, I'd like to do over 300,000.
Okay.
No other show other than UFC. I don't think they've gotten anywhere close. So.
Yeah, I think there's.
But for me, for this show, to be successful, getting over 150, 200,000. That'd be awesome.
Okay. And do you have a say?
Financially, I'd still be okay with that. But that really isn't much of what I'm coming back about. I'm coming back to fight. This is a fight I like. It's get me back in the sport. And I think the thing that getting back and getting ready to fight reminded me is that, I am going to open a gym after this. I am going to get back in, and I'm going to stay in the sport competing, at least as a coach, if nothing else. So, if nothing else, this whole journey's brought me back to my love of the sport and being in and around the sport. I missed it.
Is it fair to say that you're not just coming back for one fight?
We'll see. It depends on. I've told you before. It just depends on how I feel when I get out there actually fighting.
Okay, so right now you're taking one.
Right now I feel like yes. I feel like yes, but we'll see how I feel when the fight's over.
As far as with
I don't need to fight. I don't need to fight again. So it is what it is. I'm going to do what my body tells me I can do.
Is it a one-fight deal with De La Hoya?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a say in the rest of the card and the construction of the rest of the card?
Yes, we do. We're working on that.
Are there any other names that you could tell us that will be on the card? Because no other fights have been announced.
I don't have the list right now, but
okay.
We'll have that out. Well, I'll make sure we get that out soon.
All right. Do you know if we're talking about some other big names, or will you and Tito be the, by far the biggest names on the card? Are there any other sort of rabbits in the hat that are being discussed at the moment?
I think there's been some names thrown out there, but I'm not sure how that's going.
Okay.
Trying to get that going, so I don't want to get anyone excited and not have it come through. So for now, the big fight is me and Tito. So if you want to see that fight, get on there and watch it.
And will it be a 3-round main event or a 5-round main event?
3-round.
Okay. And when we had Oscar on the show a couple of weeks ago, he said that he is sick of fighters coming up to him and saying, I don't like how much I'm getting paid, I'm not getting paid enough, things of that nature. Do you feel like on this particular event, this will be a drastic difference? He wouldn't tell us, what the difference is this time, but he said that was his main motivation for getting into the MMA business. Do you feel like the fighters on this card will be making a lot more than they would in the UFC, Bellator, or any of the other events?
No, I don't know what the pay structure is actually anymore in either of those events anyway.
Okay.
But if you want to talk that kind of business, we'll have to do another show later on. I'll get the information for you.
Fair enough. No, I was just curious because it surprised me when he said that, so I was curious if that was something that you were hearing from them as well. I've talked to people about that, about this issue about fighters' pay, and I think a lot of it, it's an interesting issue. I mean, I can get into it sometime. We have a little more time. Okay, fair enough. Will John Hakumen be in your corner for this fight?
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Well, he's going to work with me. I'm working at a different camp, but he's going to be coming in and helping out here and there. And then, yes, he'll be in my corner.
Because I'm sure you heard, after we did the interview, he was pretty vocal about not being in favor of you coming back. And I'm wondering how you felt about that.
Again, he's there for me. He's my friend. He has his opinion, and we've spoken about it, and I made my decision, and he understands it, and he feels he'll help me out, and he'll do the best to help me out he can. He's not gonna keep harping on me not to do it, or he knows I'm doing it. So that boat sailed. So he's there to support me.
So which camp will you be training out of for this fight?
I'm working with Antonio McKee down at the body shop, and a couple other people, my own people up in probably either at Boss Rutan's gym or at Muscle Farm.
Wow, that's great. Antonio has really developed a nice stable of young fighters there. Will he be in your corner? And also, he's developed into one of the best coaches, I think, in MMA. Will he be in your corner?
Yes, he will.
Wow, that's fun. That's really cool. Have you actually officially started your training camp?
I've been training since we started this thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been pre-training right now. I mean, camp will start. I do about an 8-week camp specifically for a fight. But I will come into that camp. I mean, I could fight tomorrow if I needed to. I'm in shape.
Wow. How much do you weigh?
218.
Wow. And this will be a 205 fight, right? Light heavyweight?
Yeah. Yes. I'll stay at this weight the rest of camp, probably right around here.
What are the?
I'll probably get 5 pounds total.
The sort of feelings that you have inside is you have a date, you have an opponent, you have a venue. It's all very real. Is it those old feelings once again? How would you compare them to when you were, fighting actively in the UFC? This must be a treat for you to go, to go through this all over again.
Oh, it's amazing as far as mentally and physically. I feel great, man. It's a great feeling. I miss feeling like it's getting ready. I mean, I had so much fun at the press conference and doing that stuff, and being in that zone of getting ready for a fight and going. It's an amazing feeling for me.
Was there a point where you were somewhat depressed because you thought you would never get an opportunity to do this again?
I say no, but you ask my wife, she'll tell you yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm just a lot more energized all the time now. I mean, it's kind of cool doing this and getting back into it, and how many people I've coming up to me and I've inspired to get back into doing something they love doing, or to go and start working hard at something, or try something they didn't think they could do. So I've got a lot of great support out there. A lot of people that are, you know, really excited about this fight coming up.
Considering your age, did the California State Athletic Commission make you do any extra testing before licensing you for this fight?
Yes, they did quite a bit of extra testing before this fight. Yeah, I think they you know, I think I had my doctor gave me a neuro. They actually showed up for a drug test last week or 2 weeks ago, and showed up and brought me the neuro test and had me do it again. So just to make sure, but I did very well at it. So I think I surprised the doctors. I went all the way through the numbers. I don't know if you've ever done one of those neuro things, but you got to give you a list of numbers and you got to count it back to them. You got to repeat it back to them backwards.
Okay, yeah.
I went through the whole list, and he's like, "Here we go. You did a lot better than I thought you would."
Wow.
But I'm good with numbers. Everyone forgets I was an accounting major.
Yes, of course.
Graduated in accounting. So I'm good with numbers.
Did they tell you if there's going to be any random out-of-competition drug testing for this?
Well, that was a random out-of-competition drug test they were doing that at. So
okay.
I'm guessing that means yes.
All right. Okay. And for those that may not know, there's a lot of new fans. At its core, in 2018, do you still have an issue with Tito Ortiz? Is there something about this guy that just bothers you, that gets on your nerves, or is it just like go ahead.
Yeah, completely.
What is it?
He still gets on my nerves. It's just the way he is. I mean, it's his whole personality. It's the way he acts. I mean, he can't help himself but be an idiot. You know, I mean, this whole thing started. We did a stare down at a charity event, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna post this just to be funny," you know, like. And I told him that, and I posted it, and then he starts talking. Talking trash. I mean, he starts saying, "Oh, Chuck must need money." He's challenging me, and I didn't challenge. I said, "Why not?" That was the quote in the post, and just me and him facing off, and you know, bring a little attention. You know, get a little attention for the charity. Get a little, you know, it's people look at it, and it's just to make for some fun. And he goes in there and starts talking about how. You know, he'd lend me some money if I needed, and you know, just started talking. So I punked him. I just said something back to him, and he got upset. He got upset and then started saying he started saying it. Did interviews about kicking my ass. So I'm like, you know what, man? Let's do it again. You know, if you listen to him now. He says he calls me a turncoat on someone. I turned on him. I was his friend, and I turned on him. So for you new fans, we were never close friends. I used to train with him. I would help him out. He'll talk about me sleeping on this couch and he fed me. I was coming down as a sparring partner. You had no place for me to sleep, and I slept on your couch. Okay, I was helping you out, and you were giving me a couch. You know, it's like not a big deal. I don't complain. I don't care, but that's all it was. It wasn't like you took me off the street and were feeding me and taught me how to fight, and now I turned on you. Didn't happen. We were sparring partners turn into fights all the time. It happens all the time.
Right.
He you know, the whole thing happened. I mean, he could have got on. Remember, I was supposed to fight him next after he fought Ken Shamrock. He actually jumped in the ring after I fought Vitor Belfort. He jumped in the ring and said he was going to kick my ass after he was done with Ken Shamrock. Then after I knocked out Babalu and he beat Ken, he said, "You remember him? Remember that?"
Yeah.
I'm sitting there in the ring, sitting there going, we might have to go to Pride. There's not enough money for us to fight, and we're friends, and you know. And to this day, he's still running that same scam about why he didn't want to fight me, and this. I mean, we weren't friends. He just knew I beat him at every aspect of the game when we trained. I mean, I beat him at wrestling. I beat him in a wrestling match, a jiu-jitsu match. I would have beat him in, and he couldn't do anything when I was striking. I dropped him to the body, I think, every time we sparred. I mean, it's just one of those things. And now he's still, to this day, oh, we're friends, and he turned on me. Stop, it's tired. Get over it. We're not friends. We never were. I mean, you know.
Before November 24th, Chuck, could you do me a favor? This might be a little awkward because I've been in this situation before, but we need to somehow tell Oscar that it's Chuck Liddell, not Liddell. How do we get that information to him?
I mean, my wife said you didn't correct him. I'm not going to correct him on the podium. I will let him know. I will let him know right after. They misspelled my name for my credential too. So,
oh my.
But then again, you know, the UFC, actually, the office at the UFC, the Green Bay Packers sent me the Sports Illustrated book to the office, and one of the secretaries forwarded it to me and spelled my name Liddell from the UFC office. So,
right.
You know, and actually, one of the first times I walked out and I saw my name up on the screen in the UFC, I was like, I'm walking out. This is cool, you know. I'm walking out from the UFC. I look up, they got my name spelled Liddell. I'm like, really? Okay.
So you're used to this.
Let's go. I'm used to it. Yeah. I don't know that people can't. They either misspell my name, or if it was misspelled, he pronounced it right, probably. If they had it misspelled on this paper, it was pronounced right. It's got 2 D's for a reason. You put a line through it, Liddell.
All right. Well, hopefully before November 24th, he figures it out. It started in April of 2004. Chuck won via KO in the second round. Then it continued in December of 2006. Chuck won via third round TKO. It perhaps ends on November 24th at the Forum in Inglewood. Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz. 3 tickets on sale now. Ticketmaster and wherever else you get tickets. Chuck, I appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much. Good luck to you in training, and good luck, of course, on November 24th. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk before the fight as well.
Yeah, and if you talk to Tito, tell him to keep hoping I'm a shell of the man I used to be.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. The snowflake Chuck Liddell, I believe he refers to you as.
Yes, the snowflake, 50-year-old with the mohawk. I need to grow up. I don't know. People have been telling me I need to grow up for my whole life, and I still haven't grown up. So, sorry. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Thank you, Chuck. All the best to you. Appreciate you doing this.
No problem. Anytime, brother.
All right. There he is. The one and only Chuck Liddell, one of the greatest of all time. He returns after an 8-year hiatus on November 24th.